Good morning and welcome to Magical Monday Musing for the week of May 4th, 2015. So welcome back to another week of adventures as we explore the Rider-Waite and the Wildwood Tarot cards together. So how did everybody do last week with the sun and the sun of life? I know for me, it was definitely a week where the sun was behind the clouds. I was barely able to tune into the cards at all. It was a very distracting week for me, unfortunately. So those things happen, and I like to share my experiences honestly. So, if you had one of those weeks too this past week or in another time, that it happens. It doesn't mean that if you wanted to, you couldn't work with the sun again this week. And sometimes in the past, I have definitely carried over work with one card to another week or even multiple weeks. So just keep that in mind as you work with the cards from week to week, or find yourself really having spectacular experiences in one week and maybe feeling kind of disconnected or sort of flat in another week. That's all part of our process, isn't it? It's all part of being human and experiencing our spiritual growth. And it's not always fairy dust and Jesus appearing before us every day. So there are definitely challenges, there are distractions, there are things that come and go that are all part of what make up our lives and our experiences. So like the sneeze that wants to come. Excuse me. Pardon me. So hopefully you were able to get out into some sunlight and experience that inner sunshine within you and experience some of that firepower, that true solar energy. And maybe you were somebody's sunshine, or maybe you were able to illuminate something for yourself that was hidden or tucked away and receive some new understandings, or a deepening of your connection to the greater divine or the self, or maybe that great feeling of the masculine energy that goes along with the sun. So it may be that there's some new things that were able to come to you through your explorations with the cards. And this week we have collectively chosen another familiar archetype, as we tend to do. I think this is probably one of our most frequently pulled archetypes, which we'll go into detail after our meditation. So it won't surprise you. And if anything, it kind of reinforces where it seems like we seem to live as a Circle Magica community, working with the Wildwood and the Rider-Waite tarot cards in this more, I guess, kind of congealed fashion of us working together through the videos since the first of this year. So we're moving into already our 5th month of working in the video and the format of the Monday morning practices. So we are again working with an archetype we are familiar with and work frequently with. So there must be a need for us to tap into that energy for our own individual and the group path that we all share here. So let's go ahead and center ourselves, set our sacred space, and then we'll talk about who we're going to be working with this week. So as always, I invite you to bring yourself into your physical comfort, whether you are reclining or in a seated position, and take 3 deep breaths in and out at your own pace. And as you arrive into your body, to allow your spiritual practice with the cards to begin today, I invite you to give thanks to yourself and for all of those in spirit that work with you to keep you aligned and in the place of personal wisdom, strength, and compassion. Being in that place of vulnerability and curiosity with your breath deepening your focus on your body and physical awareness, you're releasing any thoughts or anything that would keep you from being fully present here and now. You're letting go of anything that takes you away from this frame of mind and of the potential of what you can bring to yourself through the magical Monday musing experience. So allowing yourself to release any tension that you might be feeling in your body, any soreness or stiffness, letting mental challenges just drift away for now. There's nowhere else you need to be and nothing else you need to do except to give this experience its fullest due. And so we call on the grounded and loving presence of the earth, of our guides in the lower, middle, and upper worlds, calling on our ancestors and loved ones and friends in spirit that can assist us in a positive way. Calling on all of our personal guides and teachers, the four elements and directions of north and earth and east and air, south and fire and west and water. Calling on the angelic realms, ascended masters, sky and star beings, and calling on the wisdom that each of us holds within. The archetypes and the energies, the personalities of the cards that we have pulled this week, to help illumine and guide and nourish us this week. That we would feel all these presences as we walk our path, and that we would remember we're never alone, that we always have spiritual companionship, friendship, and love. So open your eyes and bring yourself back to this place and time. And allow yourself to set any intentions that you would like to for this week and for working with the cards. And as you bring yourself fully back now into your awakened state, I'd like to share with you that who we have chosen this week is, again, the Queen archetype. So we are all about the Queens, apparently. This week we're working with the Queen of Cups in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, and in the Wildwood that corresponds to the Queen of Vessels and the Salmon. And so we have worked with this card in our history together. I don't believe we've worked with this card since we've been in the video format, although maybe we have once. But what do we know about the Queen? Well, I feel like I've mentioned this so often now, it's probably going to sound very familiar to you, but so the Queen, of course, represents the divine feminine, the mother archetype, the wise leader, the one who nourishes and is the matriarch of the community. When we're working with the cups and vessels, we're dealing with the emotions, right? And so you can expect a week where perhaps your emotions are going to feel more heightened, or you're going to be more aware, or there can be a breakthrough of maybe a place where you've been feeling stuck, or maybe holding an emotion, maybe getting clear on an emotion, excuse me, that you have perhaps been conflicted about, or maybe that one is rising to the surface for you to real kind of highlight or put under the microscope, if you will, to get a deeper sense of what is up with that. So the Queen of the vessels or the cups can be someone that comes into our lives this week that represents those qualities. She's a nurturer, but she's a big-hearted person. The cups is also about heart, and the vessels are about heart. She may be a self-sacrificing person, or she may be a reflection of where you are where you are self-sacrificing, or where you in your generosity give to others without necessarily thinking about the way that will impact you. You know, you may be a champion to the underdog or putting the needs of others before yours. And that doesn't mean that you can't handle that. It's a choice that you make. Because as the queen, you don't do things out of a sense of lack or diminishment. Is that even a word? Diminishment? We'll call it a word today. You don't do it from a place of disempowerment. If you decide that you are going to give to someone or to a cause or to your people, if you will, you don't do it at your own detriment. And I feel like that, already kind of intuitively shifting over a little bit, is going to be a new experience for some of us. In the past, it may have been that we would self-sacrifice in a way where the sacrifice felt as though it was a giving away of self, rather than from a place of wholeness or dignity or just cause giving, knowing that there's going to be something that you relinquish or that you set aside, or that you decide, I want this person to have this, so I am not going to give myself this. You know, whether it would be monetarily or whether it would be something on a schedule, say that it could be something as simple as you're going to do something with someone that means that if you choose that, you're going to have to give up something else that maybe you are planning to do or that you wanted to do. So in a way, it could be in a mentoring aspect that this is going to show up this week, or just in a way, it's you want that person to have that experience, and you want it so much that it doesn't even matter to you if there's something else that was on your agenda or on your plate, and you're just willing to not participate or just choose for the other person instead. So I guess when you look at self-sacrifice that way, it takes kind of the bite out of the idea of sacrifice, doesn't it? It puts a different spin on it, which I have a sense some of you are going to be experiencing this week, that the self-sacrifice is not at your detriment, but that you're choosing from, you could say, a more evolved, or from a more detached, or a place where nourishing someone else is more important than you having this other thing, opportunity or experience or tangible. So, and that's going to feel positive and good and nourishing to you, as opposed to depleting you or repeating a pattern where you feel that in order for someone else to have something from you, it means that it's like you have to give a part of yourself in a way that is depleting or takes away from you. You know, I always think of, like, with the Wildwood Tarot and the Queen of Vessels and the salmon. Like, the salmon is a really sturdy medicine or magic. And in the shamanic terms and Native American tradition, the salmon's a really powerful, strong totem. So where do you need to pull from the salmon this week? And, you know, you think about the salmon's journey, and it's the journey of the shero or the hero. In some ways, when you think of what the salmon does, you know, in terms of reproduction and spawning, and to what lengths it needs to go to, even to the point of to exhaustion, oftentimes, and performing, you know, the duty of laying eggs and then dying, you know. So there is that element to it, that some of us may be engaged in spiritual growth and development, or because we're dealing with emotions, you know, the cups and the vessels, something that has affected us to that level, or the willing to give birth to something that wants to be brought alive within us, that we have had to go to great lengths, or that we're being asked to go to very far reaches of ourselves in order to bring forward now. However, I do have a feeling for those of us that that is true for, that there is a success that comes with it. You know, dealing with the energies of the Queen, she's a masterful being. So I would want to plant that seed within you too, is that you have the energies behind you this week of the success in this, because the Queen is someone that demonstrates success and demonstrates achievement and a mastery of the emotions, and knows what to do with that. Doesn't let the emotions, doesn't get caught up in the emotions, doesn't get swept up in it, but, you know, is masterful in that. So for some of you, I feel like this week you're going to have the ability to, instead of feeling at the effect of your emotions, be able to have a sense of more mastery. And that is coupled somehow for some of you with the adopting of a surrender or a blessing in a spiritual way also. So it's sort of the partnership of emotion and spirit this week that is going to bless you. So some of you are going to have a sense of being blessed. And I have a sense of, with this is going to come a clarity. So I'm kind of getting a fine tuning for some of you this week that are going to get, through the act of greater surrender, releasing into the emotions, a greater sense of comfort and clarity and arrival, I guess is the word that I want to give you, at a new inner destination emotionally that you have been seeking. And there are a couple of you that I can't say by name, but I am seeing your faces, so hopefully you will take this message and know it's for you. That it has to do with, at that arrival experience, there will come the peace that you've been seeking, about not being so concerned about direction or being good enough, and finding a resting place within that somehow for yourself. That you can arrive and rest in yourself as yourself, not needing to thrash or strive or resist, fight. And it's a wonderful feeling that is being, I hope, transmitted through me to you to feel on the video. There's a peace that comes with it that is being offered to you this week through Salmon and the Wildwood Tarot, specifically the Queen of Vessels and Salmon. So to allow yourself to have some quiet time to call up Salmon and sit in that, so that you can anchor in that experience over the course of the week. Because I do feel as though for some of you, you might get brought to a precipice of stress this week. But then if you can sit with Salmon, it can shift that for you, so you can get into this place of surrender, those queenly energies of mastery, emotional management, having that sense of coupling it with your spirit allows you to descend into a place of receiving this grace. So I hope those of you that this message is for will fully take advantage of that opportunity to sit with Salmon and receive those blessings this week. Now let's see if there's anything else that wants to come from the Queens to you this week. So for some of you, it does feel like there's going to be that, as it often is when we work with the Queens, you experiencing your queenliness. And for some of you, I have a sense of this is going to be true because you have stepped through the fire and proven to yourself, you know, that you have those that nobility and that power within you. Some it's going to be actual physical or 3D circumstances. Others it's going to feel more like moving through emotional blocks that have prevented you from having this sense of mastery or emotional maturity, I guess I want to say, or having a sense of being able to have a way to be with these emotions and not let them overpower you or sweep you away. So this will be good news to those of you that have that experience this week, because this is one of those sort of long time in coming experiences where you've been working at it. You know, we talk about the spiral, working around that spiral, and that same task has come back to you repeatedly. And this week you will be having the experience of acknowledging growth and really feeling a sense of accomplishment with that. So congratulations ahead of time to those of you who are going to be claiming that for yourself this week. So again, as always, making time for meditation, journaling, getting out in nature, doing the things. The other thing about this particular queen is art and artistry and artistic abilities and talents. And there's some of you that will really be wanting have that urge to express the queen through artistry, artistic abilities, and expressing yourself through your art. So for some of you, that's going to be a big feeding this week, or there's going to be the sense of inspiration to do some of that. So give yourself that, you know, just let yourself have it, because that's going to be another way to create that synergistic connection between emotion and spirit and take you into some places that will be really satisfying too. So for some of you, it is going to be about the art piece as well, and let that have wings and see, you know, how you let that take shape in your physical world this week. So I'm going to stop there. There's a number of different ways that you can work with this energy, the personality, the archetypes of the queen. Both the Queen of Vessels, Salmon, in the Wildwood Tarot, and the Queen of Cups, Rider-Waite Tarot. So I hope that you all have a wonderful week. And don't forget, if you don't subscribe to the Magical Monday Musing, you can do so very easily just by logging on to www.circlemagica.com/subscribe. And you can enter your email in there, and you will get this video every Monday morning to your inbox, so that you can join us, the Circle Magica community, and in particular, those of us that work collectively with the Magical Monday Musings. And alternatively, you can always jump on to my Facebook page, Deb D'Onofrio, to connect with us as well on Monday and get the musing through there. So with that being said, I wish you all a magical and powerful week, and I look forward to seeing you here again next Monday. Blessed be.